What's good, everybody? Bobby Nugs here. Episode 2. You're tuned in to Carrying the Torch podcast, where we highlight the paths blazed by visionaries and pioneers from all walks of life. Today, we have absolute heavy hitter in the building. Literally, my man next to me is a professional baseball player, or therefore was, true cannabis connoisseur, Wu-Tang signed, worldwide touring act, my man Big Nate Allstar. Nate, what's good, family?
Salute, Bobby Nugs. How's everything?
Everything's great, man.
Good,
Everything's great. Better now that you're in the studio. It was a goal of mine when I launched the podcast in September. I had like 6 people I really wanted to get on the show. You were at the top of the list,
That's
my man.
dope.
So
Much
thank
respect,
you,
man.
for joining us. I've seen you perform, at least half dozen times over the last 4 or 5 years. So,
Dope.
and every time is like I only get to say hello. So to have the chance to have a conversation with you tonight, it's a big deal to me. I see you making waves all over the place. So just mad respect. Thanks for taking the time to come down and chat
No problem,
with me, man.
Much respect.
So usually how we like to start things off is with like an icebreaker, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to hit you with like 10, 15 questions. You just give me an A or B answer, all right?
Okay.
All right, we call this a this or that, guys. All right.
Gotcha.
Clam chowder or lobster roll?
I'm allergic to shellfish.
Yeah,
so
allergic to shellfish. So I didn't know that. No shellfish for my man over
But
here.
if I were to choose, I would say clam chowder.
Clam chowder. I have anaphylaxis to bees. If I get stung, I'll die. I got the EpiPen on me all
man,
deck all
so
the
you
time.
can't try to
I know what it's like. I know what it's like. UK drill rap or no?
What do you mean? That's actually that's a question.
Yeah.
I mean, each his own, man.
Each his
I'm
own.
not hating. I got supporters and people over in UK,
Yeah.
so I'm not against the drill rap.
It's
I'm
crazy
just
to see it
saying,
hopping over to US
I
Airlines.
just look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Just promote what you
Yeah, man, they kind of made a
Believe what
lane.
you
They made a
promoting.
lane all their own.
believe in what you promote. You know what I mean?
Studio session or live performance?
Oh, live performance.
All day. Bet.
That's
Pizza with pineapple or never?
before 21, it was cool. Now
Yeah,
it's like
now-
I gotta have it separate.
My mom always would hit me with the Hawaiian pizzas. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I can't hang. I don't fuck with pineapple on my pizza. It's just
Before 21, it was cool.
haze or sour.
Haze.
Yeah, no, me too. Shout out to the purple, the amnesia, the piff, like
Yup.
all that. The
Shout out to the
Pudet.
Allstar skunk.
Yeah,
That's about
man, that
to be named
skunk.
Allstar Haze. So.
Hell yeah, the skunk terps, man. When I was a kid, I'd always be like around my mom and pop, and they'd have this roadkill smell everywhere I went.
Right.
But that kind of disappeared in the mid 2000s. You know what I mean? You don't really smell that true roadkill anymore.
Yeah, no, it's tough, man. There's few breeders that are holding on to those genetics.
Things
so.
just get watered down, and I don't think people realize like how quickly you can lose a strain if you ended up getting raided or the grow goes bad. So there's so many variables to that shit.
Facts.
Blunts or joints?
Blunts.
Hometown performance or traveling abroad?
Traveling abroad, man. Energy's crazy.
I know you just got
I've
back
been,
from some crazy places, so
been to,
we'll touch on that.
18 different countries within like
That's
3 months. So
crazy,
it was,
man. You've been out traveling the whole entire world. Like some people don't get to see 18 countries in 75 years of their life.
Yeah, I got fortunate, man. I went out of the country one time prior to this past year, and then next thing I know, me and Capadonna, we got booked
Amazing.
for South America. Then we did Europe, and then we did the whole United States with Wu-Tang for the final chamber. So just off of that stuff, I seen it.
Huge opportunities,
Seen
man,
a lot
coming
of
your way,
stuff, man.
which you deserve. But before we get into all the Wu-Tang, I want to make sure we just brought it back to like your roots. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So obviously hip hop's always been a huge influence in your life, right?
Most definitely.
Who were some of your, true hip hop influences when you were growing up?
True hip hop influences growing up. Big Pun was one of my top ones. I mean, I always liked Big Pun for the simple fact that like his delivery was different, and it was just like he came from a Spanish culture, which was at the time people didn't look at it as like the face of hip hop.
Yeah.
That was part of it. But then guys like Busta Rhymes and Nas, these are guys I actually was fortunate to go tour with.
Amazing.
It's crazy 'cause I'm speaking of people I've recently been able to meet. Lauryn Hill,
That's fire.
LL Cool J.
All the OGs,
the
like
people who I'm touring with now, Wu-Tang. I mean,
hell yeah, man.
fortunate enough, years later, just when things cycle back, that
It's a trip.
people that influenced me or that my mom grew up playing in the house,
Yeah.
I was able to meet later on in the future.
Life's crazy like that. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen to everybody. And I've been telling people like you kind of got a crazy story, my man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in so many different ways, right? So when you were in high school, I know that you were also a major athlete, right?
Right.
So growing up, you know what I mean? Were your parents kind of hard on you for your sports? Because that was your thing, right?
Well, I came from a household where my mom was the main parent.
Yeah.
My pops, he got falsely accused of murder, so he was in jail most of my middle school, high school. He got out like towards my last year of high school. But just coming up in that kind of household, my mom she was the front line on a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
So she held it down for you in so many ways.
She held
right?
it down. She taught me how to be a man, and she just let me understood that there's a lot of variables to stuff. You know what I mean? As far as having to be a hustler, be independent, and she taught me she wasn't going to be here forever. So that was another thing too, where a lot of people are fortunate enough to grow up in households where their parents might outlive them or whatever the case may be. But my mom kind of knew she was ill when I was younger, so that allowed it for her to raise me a certain way, which she kind of she prepared me young, which I appreciate now.
Yeah, I always say too, like I wasn't one of those like jaded, sheltered kids. I was exposed to so much crazy shit since I was a little boy. My father was a bank robber. You know what I mean? So we were caught from similar cloths.
Right.
He was murdered.
Question at the end too? I didn't want to.
But to level with you though, like my father was also like cut for some crazy cloths, and my mom, single mom, me and my brother held it down in so many ways too. And without her guidance and strength, I don't think I would be sitting in the seat with you right now.
Right. She
prepared
prepared you for the.
Shout out to the moms in the world.
Out.
We're handling motherfuckers like us.
Right, the ones that are actually holding
How
it
old
down.
are you, Nate?
Just turned 40.
Yeah, man, you look good for your age. I'm 37. I just turned 37 about 3-4 months ago. So we're also similar age, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like the 90s were crazy, My mom going through that with what my brother's father had done and what had happened to him, it's still his murder's still unsolved 30 plus years later.
Really? Yeah.
So just to hear about your family, like there's definitely some crazy correlations.
Yeah,
there,
right now I'm working on can't speak too much on it, but I'm working on the movie documentary, Athlete with the Rap Sheet. You know what I mean? My first mixtape I dropped was called The Athlete with the Rap Sheet. So, I'm turning my real life story into film and all that kind of
everything.
stuff. So
now, athlete. So talking back about in the high school, what was your sport?
3 sports, man. I was a 3-sport athlete. Since middle school, I was one of those overachievers, as they call it. Like, I got most athletic. So baseball, basketball, football. But out of high school, I got drafted by baseball, Oakland A's. So that's what I stuck with, because it was like at 17, where I came from, a lot of people wasn't getting that phone call when they was getting drafted. So
Facts.
And I looked at it, it was like opportunity to change my family's life. But end of the day, my mom, because I was 17, told me I had to go to college. So I went the college route. And then, in the midst of that, coming back to Massachusetts from Florida, getting caught with a gun, getting caught with weed. So, my college path got derailed. And then, fortunate enough that I stuck with it. 2 years later, I got back into baseball and kind of overcame all that adversity. Became an All-American at Worcester State at all schools. Got drafted again.
That's crazy.
But by Toronto Blue Jays. Shout out to the Blue Jays, who was just in the World Series.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got drafted by them, and then it's like I got a couple chapters to my life at this point.
That was early on, kind of fresh out of high school. You know what I mean? You got drafted in the MLB. You're playing professional sports, but hip hop is still kind of playing a major role in your life.
At that point, when area I'm talking about, I'm everywhere from 17 to 23.
Yep.
So in that span, I was just influenced by music as far as playing.
Yep.
I mean, I might have wrote my little stuff here and there.
When was the first time you actually performed? Do you remember?
I was young, like 14, but I wasn't an artist then. I was kind of just like, my family was around. My uncles used to do DJ stuff, and I kind of did it off some fun. But later on, I didn't really get into music till after baseball, because I felt like I had a story to tell then.
Yeah, man.
When I was younger, it was kind of like my uncle was a DJ, and he was involved back then in open mics in the 90s. So
now, was that Toots?
No, that's my cousin.
That's your cousin.
Yeah, Toots is my cousin.
You got an interesting family too, man. Like I made sure I want to know like what the deal was and what was up.
Yeah,
so
Toots working on his documentary.
You got a bunch
at the
of
moment,
all you guys, man. You like all the cloth y'all were cut from.
Yeah,
Like none of y'all gave up and like seem like you persevered through a lot of crazy times in general as your family clan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you put everything together, we all got a big story to tell. And shout out to my cousin too. Yeah, he put out the Murder in Boston documentary.
Yeah.
That just won an Emmy Award, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, which is huge. I mean, I don't know nobody from where I'm from who won
Facts.
an Emmy Award on anything.
Nah.
So it's like, just off of that, you know, and he put a lot of effort behind that project. And, you know, it was just basically to expose the police department in Boston and how it was, you know, a big hoax and how, like,
Yeah, man.
you know, my pops was a target. And, you know, just a lot of background on that, you know what I mean, because he was, like, #1 suspect in the streets at the time
Yep.
for just being involved with, you know, he had numerous altercations, as you want to say, with the cops. So imagine he was on their top hit list. So when it came up to who the suspect was, it was easy for them to pick him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Now, was this Pops or was this Toots?
that's for my pops. But I'm getting to that part is Toot was basically a casualty of war. You know what I mean? Like
facts.
later down the road when my pops was locked up, they kind of was like, you know what? Let's who else is out here that we can mess with / you know, who had any involvement with the Stewart case. So
Yeah.
that was kind of Toot's role. But yeah, he did 22 years, man. He came back out. He's doing a lot of stuff for the community.
That's crazy to hear, like, the same family, same state,
Yep.
2 different people in 2 different cases, and they did that to you guys like that. Like,
Yeah, he actually,
that's
he actually
Massachusetts
did a
as
lot of
fuck.
time too.
22
you know?
years, right?
Yeah, my pops, you know, he did over 30 years on different cases in his
Consecutive
life.
with different shit.
Yeah, so he's probably
But that Stewart case for him was it was like 3-4 years before he ended up committed suicide.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was short, but my pops, they kept him in jail for robberies and other stuff. So he was in there for a span of 10 years in a row.
Yeah.
But for when the Stewart brother basically dimed his brother out, was in like a 90-day period, and then it took some months later, within a year, he completely got off on the case. But at that point, they already had him where they wanted him. That's the best way I could put it. So he was already in jail. So at that point, it was like, you know what? We have these other cases that you're guilty of. You're just gonna stay in here.
Yep.
So it was kind of one of those things.
I mean, an example out of him while they had him.
From there, I was 6 years old to 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
facts. Super, you know, important years of your life, though. But it sounds like, you know, from all the cards you were dealt, you were able to turn that hand into something really unique for yourself, right? Now let's get into the next chapter. You know, now you're out of high school. You're an MLB baseball player. It's about 6-7 years past.
Yep.
Now, when did the Wu-Tang connection actually come about?
The connection came about. It's been going on almost 10 years now. So I was in the studio. I was doing our projects with me and Jimmy. So shout out to Jimmy Kang.
Yeah, shout out Jimmy, man.
He was already, you know, connected on that side. He was managing Capadonna. So just us being in the studio, working together after I was doing events. Because we first started off in the club, and we started off early 20s doing events together in the bars. You know, and he's seen kind of like my hustle, and he's seen my approach. So, you know, he was basically in the middleman on the sense of bridging the gap in the relationship.
Yep.
But I really want to say, honestly, after me and Cap met, it was kind of like Cap just took me under his wing. So it was a combination of things, but...
You guys have this energy, too, like, you know, I've seen you perform on stage together, like, you've known each other your whole entire lives. You never skipped a beat. It's like you were meant to be here at this time as part of their family and their wave and their crew.
I agree on that.
Like, your whole style, the definition of who you are as a person, your background, where you came from, like, talk about, like, a match made in heaven. You know?
No, I agree. And it just works out how kind of like... you know, he has stipulations, meaning Capadonna, on, you know, whether or not he's the member and a 10th member and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we have conversations. It's kind of like he was the chosen one, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when you're the chosen one, you can't, nobody can overcome that.
Facts.
So what he tells me is, you know, he tells me I'm a chosen one. Kind of like the same way how he was brought in.
That's got to feel good. You're carrying the torch, my brother.
I brought it as a chosen one. So it's like I have relationships with everybody on the clan, from Method Man to Ray to Inspector Deck was, you know, coming to the studio for 2 years in a row from out of Boston. To, you know, all these guys, man. RZA, when I first
a huge family with those guys.
RZA, he was open arms, meaning like, you know, he was welcoming.
RZA's another one, like some of the movies he's directed. You ever seen The Man with the Iron Fist?
Yeah, I've seen
one of
all
my
the
favorites,
flicks,
man. One of my favorites. I'm a martial arts fanatic.
I've seen all the flicks. Yeah, he's dope, man. He's very creative.
I think that also was what appealed to me when I was younger, is their love for martial arts and like that connection to.
No,
to
I
them,
agree.
like,
I agree, and I didn't realize it till later. You know what I mean? But a lot of that's discipline, and a lot of that is is family oriented, meaning like like there's a lot of discipline in order to be a fighter and stuff like that.
Totally,
and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But yeah, that culture mixing with the hip hop was kind of creative.
Yeah, that Wu-Tang philosophy in general is something I really wanted to touch on, because it's like they created a whole counterculture,
Right.
around their slang terminology. Like one of the slang terms I even wanted to mention today was cream, and you're rocking the hat. You know what I mean? Like cream was like, I think in the early 2000s, especially for me, one of the biggest like hustler terms. You know what I mean? Like that's when I first started to like sell some weed, was like 03, 04.
Right.
And I was hearing that song, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get out here and do something.
Get this money,
like,
right?
Get that haze. I got that haze. And that when that Kush first hit, like it changed the game out here in Rhode Island and Mass for a lot of us,
No,
So their philosophy in general, I'm sure, was super inspirational for you, over the years.
No,
And like
definitely.
Cream, that's obviously one of the most popular, songs. You know what I mean? But you have a pretty popular song yourself. I wanted to touch base about it a little bit more.
Yeah, of course.
Willie Bennett.
Yep.
Now that's your pops.
Yes, my pops. Yep.
Can you give us a little bit more background on kind of like what happened there and what the song's about?
So the song's very descriptive on kind of like the story itself.
Yeah.
And it just speaks on just about how like the mayor recently apologized. So Mayor Wu apologized recently. She came forth. It was all broadcasted on the news, like every news, CNN, you name it. Mayor apologizes to falsely accused man. You know what I mean? But more story with my pops, William Bennett, is stories is based upon that. Like literally, if you go search the song William Bennett, it's like one of those videos, track videalizes that just explain everything. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to have a video to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's very descriptive, and it just describes how he was falsely accused.
Yeah, for those who don't know the story, your pops was falsely accused on some crazy murder shit, and it ended up turning out this dude killed his wife.
Yep, for
and
insurance
then
money.
Ended up killing himself because he was so guilty, and they were catching on.
Yeah, his brother dimed him out.
His brother dimed him out because his brother ended up helping him.
I guess his brother was at the scene.
I had seen this on Forensic Files.
He was at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Exactly. I saw this on Forensic Files maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So when I recently put 2 and 2 together, I was like, dude, no fucking way. Like, that's the same case, because it's a pretty famous, famous murder.
Yeah, if you want to know how I heard about it.
Yeah.
So I was in middle school, and middle of me visiting him. So you imagine I'm like 13 or something.
Yep.
I'm in the middle of me visiting him on the weekends and all that. But more of the story is I'm in the classroom, and I'm one of the behavior classes. So they bring out the VCR with the tape and all that stuff. They're showing this, what was a documentary, and it's basically speaking about somebody falsely accused. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know what my dad was in jail for at the time, to be honest with you. So I'm watching this flick, boom, 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 and at one point, 40 minutes into it, it gets to, it's like, yeah, well, the guy gets in the interrogation room. He's like, yeah, Willie Bennett did it. Willie Bennett did it. I'm like, what? I was like, and I got up in the middle of class. I was like, nah. I was like, that's my dad who was talking about. The lady was like, that's not your dad. You have a different last name. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's the same person. You asked me about how my visits.
Yeah. And
she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Turns it off. And then I went home, I had a whole conversation. My mom, like, yo, I didn't know he was in jail for murder.
Yeah.
She was like, well, and then that kind of stuff came from it, where she had to go to school and be like, yo, like, you guys got movies out about this shit?
Yeah,
and you guys are showing it in the classroom?
Yeah.
Then I found out there was a book and all that stuff afterwards. So for years, man, probably over 30 years now, they've been people making money off the story and just putting out their own narrative on it. You know what I mean?
Well, now it's you guys' turn.
Yeah, you got to tell the story. At least I'm going to tell a story from my perspective.
Like,
you know what I mean?
That's everything. Can't be no one side.
How I was affected. I mean, and when it came down to it, where they raided the house and where they found them at was in my grandma's house.
Yeah, in your grandma's house?
Which was where I was at the time. So, there's a whole other side of difference to the story, you know what I mean?
That shit's nuts. I just really wanted to touch on that because that's super powerful, man, to have your family have gone through that. And, like, I have a similar, experience in life. So big ups for you guys for navigating that and helping him out.
It's a gift and a curse, because
100%.
At the end of the day, like, when you grow up in prison, you realize it's not the place to be.
Now, do you think if that didn't happen to your pops, you would be where you are right now with hip hop and everything? How big of an influence
it could be completely different.
Yeah, it could be completely different.
I mean, it's so tough to I know for a fact I would have been playing baseball.
Yeah, something still be in sports.
I probably would be making
At what point did you really know that, all right, baseball is paying good, I might have a great future, but I want to be a real performer and hip-hop artist?
Be honest with you, I never realized baseball was a business until I left.
Until you left.
And that's the most truthful thing I can say, meaning, I had to make family decisions. So it's like, when I made that decision to go home versus staying for the Blue Jays for the money, it was kind of like I wasn't getting millions of dollars at the time. I was in my first rookie contract, so it's like it wasn't about nothing about the money. It was kind of like, I got to get back home.
Yeah, facts.
But if I had that stability from a contract and I knew it was business, there would have been a better communication, and I would have probably told the guys, who picked me and be like, yo, listen, I have to go home. I have to handle it this way, and I'll be back. Because I knew they gave my mom 8 months to live, but I didn't communicate that with the team. Yeah. They called me 6 months later, like, where are you at? And at that point, I was like, I'm home. Yeah, they were like, yo, what do you mean?
Going through a whole huge life transition.
Yeah, and I'm in my early 20s at the time, so.
That age, too, you know what I mean? We're stubborn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if I had my father figure around, it would have been a lot different. It would have been different kind of guidance, probably, where it was like, yo.
I never got my mentors until I was really in my 20s, like 23, 24. When that came into my life, it changed my game.
Took me 30s for that, man.
Yeah, man, it changed my game forever. Shout out to everybody who's, like, looked out for me, too, and kind of brought me to where I'm at right now. Like, there's so many people and so many facets to, everything we do out here, right? Yeah. Which is also what I wanted to touch on a little bit, is the independent grind.
Right.
Do you have any tips out here for, like, independent artists trying to come up, bro?
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yeah, I kind of just say that. That's the best way I can say it, because I go by the athlete with the rap sheet. When I was an athlete, I was always successful when I played. The only thing I regret is stop playing, because when you stop playing, you don't realize the level of success you could have. You know what I mean?
Facts, man.
And music right now, I haven't stopped.
Hell yeah.
So it's like I'm getting everything out of it that would have probably came from baseball.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Music's giving me
way more opportunities.
Let me travel, let me see the world.
And you're still taking time to stop and support local people like myself.
Of course, man. I know.
Which adds to
what the grind's
the
about.
Momentum.
Yeah, I know what the grind's about.
I see you. I know you do.
I know it. To me,
from the branding to the networking to the events. Like, my dude, like, you got everything in play right now. A lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah, a lot of what do they say? Trial and error.
Yeah.
So I've learned from my losses. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely coming hard this next couple of years, just for the simple fact of I've took a lot of losses, and now it's like, I've created everything to be my own boss versus, waiting for somebody else to get it done. Yeah, be an entrepreneur, 24/7 grind. Don't stop, guys. Don't. But I wanted to segue now into our mystery box review. Okay. Shout out to Pop Shop, Mineral Spring Ave, North Providence. Okay. Shout out to our sponsors, Turning Leaf, Northampton, Cold Room Drip. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. But yeah, Pop Shop. My guys got crazy mystery boxes from all over the place. Okay. And they got snacks from kind of all over the world. Okay. We could start with the Fanta. Catalina wine mixer we got. We got some Cheetos. I know, like full. Dope. We got some M&Ms. And these are my all-time favorites. These are all infused. Okay, I gotta ask. This is just this is just exotic. Okay, dope. Let's start with the Catalina wine mixers from Step Brothers. You remember these, Johns, bro? The retro sours, they stopped making these. This is candy? Yeah, this is candy, bro. That one's mine. This one's yours. Those are full. The kids will love those, too, because you can't get these anywhere, man. They're charging like $10, $15 for just a container. Yeah, I'm keeping these. Oh, man, you're going to love it, too. So this is mine? The Cheetos. Yeah, man, you got all that's yours. We'll break into my stuff right here so you can see that. Can I open this? Yeah. Pop Shop Gallery, North Providence. We appreciate you guys. Salute, man. Pop Shop, North Providence. Salute, exotic snack store. We out here, man. Catalina wine mixer. Carrying the torch, man. It's body bars. Podcast. You already know. I've been off the porch. Allstar strains, baby. I've been off the porch. We over here in Providence, man. This is good. Carrying the torch. It's kind of got like that, Fresca. You ever had a Fresca? So it's not THC drink? Nah, no THC. I wouldn't do that shit. All right, cool. So they got exotic drinks? Exotic drinks, exotic chips. This is their own branding right here? Yeah. So dope. This is probably from, like, Canada. They get stuff from, like, France and Germany. So it's kind of crazy. Let's try the Cheetos, man. You save yours. I'll break them down. Are these what? These regular flavor? Looks like they're steak flavored Cheetos, bro. Steak flavored. Steak flavored Cheetos. I know we got to be careful of the mic with the sound, but it's kind of impossible. There you go. Yeah, well. Oh no, those are terrible. Yeah. Oh man, they're kind of sweet. What's with all these exotic like chips being sweet? I don't know. If I'm really high, it's different though, right? I don't know, man. This ain't too bad, man. I can't hang. I'm a diehard original Cheetos fan. That's why there's no cheese. I'm not getting any cheese. Are you getting any cheese? I swear I'm getting like churro. I'm getting churro. He said steak. No. I said yes. our palates. Put my face on these, man. The palate's a little different. Get some body bar Cheetos going, man. Little palate cleanser real quick. Call my man Chad. He's gonna figure it out.
Alright. Now I'm gonna grab one of these retro sours, yo. These right here were a staple for me.
There you go.
Cottonmouth killer, right here, man. You a cottonmouth, this is what you want. They're kind of sour
Those are
too.
good, man.
Yeah, grab one of those.
I'm gonna give those a thumbs up.
I give those a thumbs up too. Pop Shop Gallery, Mineral Spring, North Providence. They're always up to some cool shit. I got some fire stuff over there. Shout out again to our sponsors.
I'm not a big fan of spicy ones. But
I
those
like
are
the
good.
spicy sometimes, but
Yeah.
spice for me too. Shout out to our sponsors, Cold Room Drip, Turning Leaf Northampton. Without you guys, we can't do this. So thank you so much. So
Good,
moving
bro.
on. Let's talk a little bit more.
Allstar gummies. I got these out in Maine right now.
This is what I want to segue into right now. Cannabis and lifestyle, bro. You got your own strains.
All-Star strains.
And now,
I'm working in multiple
how
states
this deal?
right now.
How this deal come about?
Came about off of friendship, some longevity, and just like you said, hustling and sticking the grind out. So I started doing a lot of shows in Vermont for probably the last 5 years.
Yep.
Some shows was by myself, a couple was with Inspector Deck, Capadonna. But I frequently was traveling to Vermont, and this guy by Nick for Forbes Finest used to reach out to me. He wanted to do pre-rolls for me. This is before he even had a dispensary.
Yeah.
So, he wanted to do pre-rolls for me. And at that time, we didn't come to an agreement because I felt like, my brand was bigger than a pre-roll, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, sure enough, I put my grind and put my work in, and, I developed the All-Star strains. He got a dispensary within 2 years after those conversations. His dispensary is doing top-notch. Shout out to Forbes Finest in Vermont. And, he reached out to me at that point. Was like, I think I'm ready to do the strains for you. So, me being patient, him getting where he needed to be, it all happened in due time. So it's like, it's been going on only a couple months now, man.
Yep.
We dropped in this 2025 in summertime. Right when it dropped, I was on tour, Final Chamber. I got guys like Inspector Deck, Method Man, Snoop, Killer Mike, certain guys who's tried the strains out, and a lot of them love it.
Bobby Nugs.
You know what I mean? Bobby Nugs, he's gonna
Hell
be trying
yeah.
it out.
Official.
So yeah, man, it was started as a I want to say idea,
That's the idea.
and it just became a goal of mine because I realized a lot of people wanted to give me the pre-rolls, and I was like, you know what, I got bigger visions, man. I was always taught you got to kind of be insane.
Hell yeah.
Think further than what you.
Some
what you-
people
what
like
you
this
could
is so
achieve.
out of reach. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
And now I'm about to be in 3 states by the
3
first
states,
quarter
and
next
you
year.
said you're in 30 dispensaries in Vermont right now.
30 dispensaries in Vermont.
That's so
in
much
Vermont, yep.
behind the
Just
scenes
in one state. Yeah.
networking just to get in that many locations. I don't think people realize like how much it entails for sales. You know what I mean? So you must have a solid team up there working with you.
Yeah, man.
To be able to get to that point.
For Forbes Finest, shout out to Nick.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to his wife. They both just believed in me, man. And at the end of the day, they believe in this process. Like right now, I got my own vape coming out. Like they just texted me before I got here. Like the All-Star Haze vape and the All-Star Punch vape is dropping next. They're gonna send me samples next week.
Hell yeah.
So I got my own. I got
So that's the strains. You got 2 strains right now?
2 strains. I got for each strain. I got 2 different pre-rolls.
Hell yeah.
1 gram, 2 grams. We're working on infused, and then we're following them up with the vapes, and then we got just like this, but THC specialty drinks coming out. I got an All-Star Punch coming out.
That All-Star Punch is gonna
Doing
be
gummies.
mad popular. I already know because it matches the strain name.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like what a great pairing.
And right now they don't have any infused drinks that are like fruit punch.
Yeah.
They're all kind of like soda,
Yep.
salsa. So I want to introduce that, the fruit punch, the flavor,
Oh, yeah.
and it goes with the name of the strain. So I'm just moving off of that.
Hell yeah. So you got like some strain deals going in Vermont already. You're already in 30 stores. You're about to be in multiple other states.
New Mexico. In
That's what's up. So
Massachusetts.
that's really like the ultimate goal for the product is to link up with quality cultivators, unique genetics, putting something unique across that you kind of even selected. Can you want to select the pheno? Is that like a goal?
Yeah, so that's why I created All-Star strains because I feel like anything I select got to be some kind of All-Star strain.
Hell
It has
yeah.
to be high level quality, most likely around 30%.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
This is testing high too.
I'm not killing them on the percentage, but most likely we're around 30. And I'm definitely a high level genetics tester right now. I want to say I'm trying to be like what did it say? The Guy Fieri of
Hell yeah, the Guy Fieri,
of
man.
of the weed
Shout out
tasters.
Guy. Do you think that hip hop and all this, TV has helped cannabis really go mainstream?
I think the money, man. To be honest with you,
The money, 100%. I mean,
mean,
it's undeniable.
it's just once people understand not only how much money it is in it, just like how much financial freedom. I guess there's ways of word this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When they realize how much is involved with it, that it's a no-brainer. You create your brand and believe in it and just push it.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good advice because I know some people who are $4 million in debt right now and haven't even released a single or sold a single pre-roll on market.
This is my point.
You know what I mean?
Because they're not business savvy.
Exactly.
That they can.
I think that marketing's so important with it too, which is what you really bring to the table. And I think a lot of influencers, artists, musicians, everything like that, they lack what they bring to the table what these brands and dispensaries really
you need
lack.
ambition.
That authenticity too.
Ambition, and then what I realized from sports, man, you gotta have a team. So it's like realistically, like even if I become my one-man team at one point,
Yep.
I'm wearing different uniforms. I'm wearing different faces for the simple fact of I kind of know how to approach it by different positions. So it's like, yeah, man, you just gotta wait the course.
Yeah, it seems like sports though prepared you for like being a good businessman, holding yourself to a really high standard.
Yeah, that and becoming a team player. Be honest
Facts.
with
I think that's everything.
you. I learned business from college, man. I went to Worcester State.
Worcester
I
State.
learned
Shout out to the Woo.
I learned
That's where
about
you grew up, right?
Had business management.
Hell
I grew
yeah.
up in Boston, Mission Hill,
Yep.
until I was like 11, back and forth, and then from that, my mom was in Worcester. Got a song out called Worcester to Boston.
Hell yeah.
Kind of explains a lot. You know what I mean?
They're so similar, but also so different.
Yeah, it's an hour away, you know what I mean? Kind of how some people grow up in Providence and Mass, and it's like 20, 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's where I'm from.
half my life was in Boston, half of it was in Mass.
Yeah.
I mean, in Worcester. And then they recently just gave my grandma a name after
I
her.
saw that, bro. What?
Right where we grew
How
up.
did that come about?
Shout out to Toot, my cousin
Yeah,
Toot. Yeah, he forced it on that, meaning like from the beginning when the mayor was able to apologize to us a couple years ago, he put it in there, as far as him wanting that. He wanted my grandma
Yeah, like
who
you're
passed
writing
away.
this in the clause. Like, you can say sorry, but
Yeah, my grandma who
this
passed
how it
away, he
means
wanted the
something.
street name after her.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that definitely was a big
And
deal.
that's a cool way to pay homage to like all the shit they put you guys
The
through.
neighborhood came out a couple months ago. And
I watched the video too of her
family was
like
all out
of
there.
the mayor like apologizing. And
Yeah,
shit.
man. A lot of people been getting her scrutiny, man.
Yeah, a lot of people
thinking
for sure.
she's doing it for
being in
for
that
certain
position.
reasons,
You know
but
how it goes. It's split
like-
down the middle a lot of times.
It's like at the end of the day, she's doing more than the next person did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you're not kidding, man.
I can't knock on that.
So we're gonna segue now into one of the final parts of our show. I'm a pizza maker. I've been
Okay,
making pizza
dope.
like my whole life. I
Dope.
make a New York style pizza. We've made one fresh for us to try right now live
Dope.
on the show.
You a
This is
chef
my New
too,
York
huh?
style. Yeah, man. I'm Sicilian. Bailey's always up in the kitchen, though, handling shit. I'm Sicilian, so pizza's kind of in my blood.
Dope.
So I want to make sure you could try like our official New York slice.
we
This is
doing?
like our product. We're trying to get a frozen pizza line going.
So I'm
you
on
know?
the bar stool right now. What's that guy from the bar stool?
Yeah, Dave Portnoy. You're on
Oh
Barstool
yeah, it's
Sports
my
right
first
now.
time doing a pizza
Yeah,
test right
first
here.
time
man.
doing a pizza
I'm gonna give
review?
you honest review
Yeah,
too, man.
Please do.
Yeah,
Looks nice and
Yeah.
crispy.
to get a 10 is gonna be tough over here, man.
Bottoms looking
Salute,
good.
salute.
Thanks for coming on the show, my
Yes,
brother.
sir. Appreciate it.
You hear that?
Oh, good.
You
You
hear
got
that?
to get an 8.5 easily.
My dude.
I didn't finish biting it.
Let's go. That's a good score.
I didn't finish biting it though. You definitely right. I think I was right. We're gonna give you 8.7.
My dude,
How about that?
8.7. You heard it here first. Big Nate
This was
Allstar,
legit right here.
Carrying the Torch podcast.
Check them out.
Yo, Nate, you're a fucking legend, bro. I feel like it's just a beginning for you, right? In so many ways.
It is.
Keep up the grind. You're inspiring so many of us out here, such as myself, to like
Appreciate it, man.
do what I do best, and not be scared and challenge myself. Just put myself out there
Yeah,
more
there's
than
no
ever, right?
limits, man. The same way you out here chefing it up. Same way I gotta go to the studio after this and chef it up. You know?
Hell yeah, man. That's everything. Now, before we sign out, let the people know, our listeners, what you got cooking for the rest of the year, where they can find All-Star Strains, and where they can find you online.
What I got cooking out. You already said it, man. I got Allstar Strains dropping. I got projects dropping. Album called Government Shutdown, featuring Inspector Deck. You can catch me on the streets, man. Probably at the next big venue, the next big show you got going on in New England. I'm gonna be there, man. I'm out here. We outside. Shout out to my brothers from Wu-Tang. Shout out to Bobby Nugs. Salute to everybody carrying the torch. It's Body Bars. We've been off the porch, man. We've been doing this. We've been grinding 20 years deep in this. Salute.
Salute. Big Nate, it's been real, my brother. I appreciate you. Shout out again to our sponsors, Cold Room Drip, Turning Leaf, Northampton, Massachusetts. We appreciate you guys so much. Carrying the Torch podcast heads down to Miami this month. St. Pete will be out here. Underground Culture, we appreciate you guys for always holding it down, providing us a safe place for our guests to host, chill, talk, smoke terps, eat some pizza. Carrying the Torch podcast.
My bad, this is a 9. I give him a
9?
Yeah.
Yo, we getting better out here.
I had to pick it up.
Carrying the Torch podcast. We out, guys. My dude.
Yeah.